Often during late fall and winter, skin cancer isn't really top of mind because it's cooler out, but don't be fooled, you do still need sunscreen, especially men.
You hear that, Andrew?
I said it.
All right,
yes,
make sure you keep your sunscreen. New research from Glasgow found over the last 3 decades, more men have died from melanoma than women in 33 countries. So joining us to talk about it is cosmetic dermatologist Dr. Sabrina Fabi. This is a topic you see a lot of in your practice.
I do.
With skin cancer. Talk to me about this study and your reaction to it. Does it surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me because I think that in women's skincare, we usually have some level of sun protection in our moisturizers or even in our makeup and even in our mineral-based makeup, and men don't necessarily apply that to their skin, and so perhaps they're less inclined to put something on their face, and therefore they're less inclined to use a little bit of sun protection. In just this decade alone, there has been an increase in 53% in the just overall diagnoses of melanoma, and 70% of those cases are men, 30% are women, and so there is obviously concern, you know, how do we reach men? How do we get you, Andrew, to, you know,
wear makeup perhaps.
I was going to say, well, you do wear makeup, but
we have to do more male-friendly makeup,
right.
You know? And so I think just raising more awareness, because melanoma is pretty lethal, although it is one of the less common forms of skin cancer. Basal cells and squamous cells are the more common ones, and luckily they usually don't take your life, but can leave you with some unsightly scars and other problems, and so melanoma is still always concerning.
You talk about these numbers going up. Is this like Alzheimer's maybe, or autism, where we're seeing more diagnoses because we're more aware and we understand more about it, or is this because it's actually happening a lot more often?
I think it's both. I think you're absolutely right. I think it is both. You know, in certain areas like Australia, you always wonder about the ozone layer and the effects that that's having, and that's the reason why we do see a greater rise in those skin cancers in those areas versus others. So there's definitely an environmental component. But I also do believe that we're becoming more sensitive to detecting them because there is so much awareness. People are coming in more and more often wondering, hey doc, you know, is this mole concerning? Should I be doing something about it? But nevertheless, the numbers don't lie. 70% more men being diagnosed than women, and women are coming in to see us more. So there's something going on as far as level of exposure to the sun.
Feels like there could be a business there of like trying to create a sunscreen that like guys will actually use. Like my husband still washes his face with a bar of soap, doesn't put on any lotion or sunscreen or anything, so there is kind of some education.
There is.
I would guess.
So common things, that misconceptions, is that you apply sunblock once and you don't have to apply it again. That's gone within 90 minutes. So it's really reapplying your sunblock. Mineral-based blocks are the best. So that has to include zinc oxide in your sunblock. And it doesn't have to look like a thick white paste on your face. There are more elegant ones that you can sometimes get from your dermatologist that can go on nicely, and men wear it all the time with no problem. And then when you are out there, maybe using like long sleeves. There are now UV protective clothing so that you can spare your back, which is one of the more common areas where men usually get melanoma, legs for women, and then using a wide brim hat.
Sure.
Interesting. Yeah, I just got a hat the other day that said UV protection on it. So maybe that's, you know, a push forward towards.
Yeah, look at you, Andrew. Way to go. All right. Dr. Fabi, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Thanks
good
for having me,
information.
guys.
Thanks.